He recorded over 200 assists during his career. He was named his country's best player 5 times. He had incredible vision, capable of creating plays out of thin air with a single pass. Listen to the story of Mesut Özil, El Búho. Mesut Özil was born on October 15, 1988, in Gelsenkirchen. The city is located in one of the most industrialized areas of Germany. He grew up in a poor neighborhood with 3 siblings. His grandfather came to Germany from Turkey, so Özil also has Turkish roots. I was born in Germany, but my heart beats for 2 nations, Germany and Turkey. He was a rather quiet child, and to escape reality, he went to play football. Football was my escape from everything. When I had the ball at my feet, the world around me disappeared, Mesut recalls years later. At the age of 7, he joined Westphalia 04 Gelsenkirchen. Within 4 years, he changed clubs twice more and joined local clubs renowned for their youth development. A major breakthrough came when he was 11, joining the Rot-Weiss Essen Academy. While not a top club in Germany, they had a very strong academy. His parents sacrificed everything to help Özil fulfill his dreams, sometimes traveling an hour by bus to training despite their lack of money. Özil immediately made a huge impression on the coach. He wasn't the biggest or the fastest, but he had something others didn't have: an eye for a pass and an instinct that can't be taught. His development was greatly influenced by the Rot-Weiss Essen coaches, who gave him enormous freedom. They didn't assign him to a specific position, allowing him to develop his creativity. His playing style impressed not only the coaches, but also his teammates. For Mesut, winning the match wasn't the only thing that mattered. He wanted to do it beautifully. Football was supposed to be an art, recalls one of his U15 teammates. At the age of 13, he attracted the attention of major clubs such as Schalke 04, Borussia Dortmund, and Ajax Amsterdam. The young German decided to stay with the club and developed at Rot-Weiss Essen until he was 16. He then joined the Schalke 04 Academy. It was something special, playing for a club whose stadium I could see from my apartment window. Özil performed brilliantly, and over a year after joining Schalke 04, he made his first team debut at just 17. Özil was a substitute, but whenever he appeared on the pitch, he delivered something incredible. He felt no pressure with the ball at his feet, and his passes were almost always perfect. Özil was like an old master trapped in a teenager's body. Sometimes I had to remind myself he was only 18, recalls Miro Slomka, former Schalke coach. That season was one of the best in the club's history. They finished second in the Bundesliga, losing only to VfB Stuttgart. Everyone realized then that they had a great talent in the team. Özil was looking for a new contract after the season, wanting a higher salary and a guarantee that he would be a key player. Schalke did not agree to his terms and suspended him in January 2008. "We decided to end our relationship because we couldn't reach an agreement with his agent," said Müller. Özil had very little time to make a decision, and at the end of the transfer window, he opted for Werder Bremen for a mere $5 million. He felt great at his new club. "Finally, I could play my own game. I felt that the coaches trusted me, that I was no longer a child, but a leader." At first, he wasn't a key player because Diego played in midfield. However, when Diego left Werder Bremen, Özil broke into the starting lineup. That same year, one of the most important moments of his career occurred. Werder reached the German Cup final, where they faced Bayer Leverkusen. Werder Bremen won that match 1-0, and Özil scored. That was the moment he believed he could be a decisive player. The goal in the final changed him mentally, Thomas Schaaf said. In the new season, Özil was given a lot of freedom playing as a classic number 10. He often dropped to the left, switching positions with a left midfielder. The entire team's play was based on him. According to statistics, this season he had the most key passes in the entire league. He was also second in assists this season, recording 17 throughout the season. This was noticed by Joachim Löw, who called him up to the national team in February 2009. Özil immediately became a key player. Joachim saw him as a player around whom the entire national team could build. In 2010, he received a call-up for the World Cup. Joachim was counting on the 21-year-old Özil from the start. Mesut did not disappoint. He was one of the best players in the entire tournament. Even though Germany did not win a single medal, many clubs became interested in signing Özil. After the 2010 World Cup, Real Madrid, managed by Jose Mourinho, immediately started to Ozil order had no choice. His contract expired in 2011, and Ozil didn't want to renew. When Mourinho called, I knew I had to go. But Werder will always be the club that gave me a real start. The German joined Madrid for around 15 million. Despite fierce competition, Jose Mourinho had great faith in Ozil, who immediately broke into the starting lineup. It was in Madrid that he was nicknamed El Búho, meaning owl in Spanish, referring to his large eyes. In Real Madrid, Ozil formed a great partnership with Cristiano Ronaldo. He had incredible vision and was always able to deliver the perfect pass to the Portuguese striker. In his first season, he recorded 25 assists, the most in the entire league, including those in crucial matches. Thanks to him, they reached the Copa del Rey final, where they defeated FC Barcelona 1-0. Mesut is the best number 10 in the world. He plays like he has eyes in the back of his head. This was just a taste of his potential. He fully demonstrated his abilities the following season when he played a key role in ending Barcelona's hegemony. Real Madrid won 100 league points, thus winning the Spanish league title. Ozil recorded the most assists in Europe with 29. He and Cristiano had a very clear understanding. Mesut knew where to pass before Ronaldo moved, said Karim Benzema. In the summer of 2012, Luka Modric arrived at Madrid, and Mourinho increasingly chose Modric over Ozil. Accusations of the Germans' lack of concentration and poor physical condition began to surface in the media. Despite this, his statistics were still impressive, scoring 10 goals and registering 24 assists. When Ozil was on the pitch, Real Madrid played football. When he wasn't, it was a completely different team, said Zinedine Zidane. However, it was a disappointing season for the team. They only won the Spanish Super Cup, resulting in numerous changes. Carlo Ancelotti became manager, and Isco and Bale joined the club. The new manager saw no place for Mesut in the squad, and the club sold him to Arsenal for 50 million to cover the Bale transfer fee. The players couldn't understand the club's decision. I'm angry. Ozil was our best playmaker. Selling him was a mistake. I never understood that decision. Nobody passed the ball to me as accurately as Mesut. Ozil made a strong appearance in the team on his debut, notching an assist against Sunderland. Unfortunately, after a good start, his form dropped, and to make matters worse, he missed a penalty in the Champions League round of 16 against Bayern, drawing criticism. Worse still, he suffered an injury shortly afterward that sidelined him for over a month. Despite this, he made a significant contribution to Arsenal's first trophy in 9 years, the FA Cup. After the season, it was time for the World Cup. Joachim Low moved him to the left wing. He performed brilliantly in his new position. Among other things, he scored a goal in the 119th minute against Algeria, sending Germany to the quarterfinals. At that World Cup, a historic 7-1 victory over Brazil took place, and Germany advanced to the final, where they defeated Argentina 1-0. Mesut is the engine of our game. He doesn't shout, he doesn't fight physically, but he creates rhythm and space, Lowe said after the tournament. After returning from the tournament, Germany suffered another injury, this time to his knee, which sidelined him for 3 months. After returning from the injury, he played brilliantly, but became more involved in defense. Although he didn't play much of this season, he led Arsenal to victory in the FA Cup. Mesut is a magician. We only see part of his talent. The rest is instinct, which can't be taught, said Arsène Wenger. The 2015-2016 season was once again excellent for Ozil. He almost single-handedly led the team to the Premier League title. They ultimately lost the championship to Leicester City. Ozil scored 20 assists that season, the second highest total in Premier League history. He also completed a whopping 119 key passes, the highest in Europe. He should have had 30 assists if our strikers were hitting their marks properly. Arsène Wenger. After the season, Euro 2016 arrived. Germany were eliminated in the semi-finals, but Ozil performed quite well and was named to the tournament's best team. Unfortunately, Arsenal began to falter, and Ozil's form began to decline. Despite this, he often showed flashes of brilliance, such as his goal of the season against Ludogorets. When Mesut plays like he did against Ludogorets, you see brilliance. But you need it every week, said Thierry Henry. The club finished 5th and failed to qualify for the Champions League, but they won the FA Cup again. In 2018, Ozil extended his contract with Arsenal and became the highest paid player in the club's history, earning around £350,000 per week. Unfortunately, after extending his contract, his form remained inconsistent, and he was increasingly criticized for his lack of defensive contributions. Arsenal once again finished outside the top four. This was also Arsene Wenger's final season at Arsenal. One of the worst moments of his career arrived, the World Cup in Russia. For the first time since 1938, Germany failed to advance from their group stage. Furthermore, a controversial photo surfaced of Ozil with the president of Turkey, accusing him of disloyalty to his country. For some, I'm German when we win and an immigrant when we lose. After the scandal, he decided to retire from international football. I will no longer be a scapegoat for incompetent politics. A negative atmosphere prevailed, not only in the national team, but also at the club. Unai Emery, who had numerous arguments with the German, was appointed the new coach. Often, despite being fit, he wasn't even in the matchday squad. Mesut is a genius, but in modern football, you need more than just touch, Emery said. Fortunately for Ozil, Mikel Arteta became the new manager after the season. He initially gave the German a chance, but everything changed when Ozil commented on the situation of the Uyghurs in China, condemning the silence of the Islamic world. That's when the arguments with Arsenal officials began. Ozil didn't play a single minute after the pandemic, even though he was still the highest paid player. In 2021, he joined Fenerbahce, the club he had supported since childhood. My life's dream has become a reality. I've always been a Fenerbahce fan. He was welcomed as a legend, but Ozil disappointed, not only failing to play well, but also sustaining an injury. Furthermore, in 2022, the club suspended him for disciplinary issues. In July of that same year, he joined Istanbul Başakşehir. However, he couldn't cope physically anymore, and soon after, in March 2023, he retired, writing, "After much consideration, I'm announcing that I'm retiring from professional football. It's been an incredible journey filled with unforgettable moments and emotions. Thank you to all my clubs, Schalke, Werder Bremen, Real Madrid, Arsenal, Fenerbahce, Başakşehir, as well as my coaches and teammates. Now it's time to enjoy what the future holds with my wife and daughters." After retiring, he started training at the gym, and people are very impressed with his transformation from a skinny guy to a massive build. This is the story of one of the best German midfielders in history. Let us know in the comments which player you'd like to hear about in the next video. Please like this video and subscribe so that this video reaches as many people as possible and so that my channel can grow.